Hey everybody, I'm back again, the Recyclista. Just a quick video today. Just wanted to catch things up. I know it's probably been a little bit over a week since the last time I talked to you. And yes, I'm in another place yet again. So I'm gonna try this out. Instead of waiting for my family to leave and for me to have the right spot to do this, I just closed myself into my office, and so we'll see how this works out. Anyway, first of all, I just want to catch you up on the stuff I talked about last time, and I really like the accountability of these videos because it's really helping me to get some things listed that normally I would procrastinate on, or I would just, oh yeah, that's fun, that's interesting, and then it would end up in a pile and it would never get listed. So I did list if you remember back from this video, I had that paper crafted owl in the frame. If you remember that, I did get that listed. It's on Etsy, and I'm going for $40 with free shipping on that. I kind of just had to pull a price out of the air because I couldn't find another one like it. Then there was the Lamoge plates, and I did ask around. I did get some feedback. I was told they would probably sell even with the color loss on those plates. So I'm running an experiment because I was probably I'm a little overly optimistic about the price that I'm going to get for them. So there is a price that they would probably move at, but that's not necessarily a price that I feel is worth it for all the packing and shipping and time it takes. And so, I mean, if I just wanted to give them away, then they'll sell, but I might as well sell them at a yard sale or sell them, or just give them to a thrift store and let somebody local find them and think that, they're wonderful and beautiful. So I did, I'm running an experiment. I have them listed for $20 each. I figured at that price, with the box and the packing materials and the time and everything like that, that might be a little bit more worth it. I also listed the tea set. It was the Paragon set that was Cliffs of Dover, and that did get listed, and I sold the teapot right away. So the teacup and saucer, the little bread and butter plates are still listed, and but I sold the teapot, which I was kind of optimistic that would be a good price. The total value for the that I listed everything at for the tea set was $135. The tea set, I believe, sold for $65. So it was definitely the most valuable piece out of there. And it went to a buyer overseas, but it was going to one of those, you just ship it to an address on the coast, and then they repackage and reship and everything like that. So I'm only responsible for getting it to the address on the coast, and then it goes from there. So the chest set, I think I had mentioned I was going to get listed. I delegated that to my husband, and he has not done it yet. So that's probably going to be my one spot, my one failure. My fail from last week was the chest set, because I think everything else I talked about I did get listed. I showed you those really cool Corning hand warmer mugs, and I did get those listed. I sold one to a friend, and I sold another one on Etsy. And I sold the one on Etsy. After shipping, I got about $35 for the one on Etsy. So I was happy about that. My original plan was to put one on Etsy, put one on eBay, see which one sold first. I hadn't gotten to the eBay one yet, and so I sold one on Etsy, so I might just give it a couple days, do another listing, and get another one out there. I could do it as quantity, but I do kind of want to, preserve the thought of rarity of these. Not like, hey, I've got 7 of them, Anyway, that's just my personal preference for doing that. And I'll list another one and sell another one and just see how the pricing works. If the pricing can stay at that level or if I need to drop it or anything like that. I did get also, if you remember, there was a ceramic pie server there, and I did figure out the pattern. It was Taylor Smith Taylor, and the pattern's called Windermere, and that got listed on Etsy as well. So I do believe those were the things that I had said that I was going to get listed, and for the most part I did it. Sorry, I brought a drink this time. I was smart. Okay, my throat gets dry when I'm talking. So what I want to talk about today, things I've pulled out. Let me just start off with, actually I'm going to start with this. So this was a little thrift store pickup recently. And if you look, okay, it was like this on this little card. And she sold it to me for 50 cents. Okay, so I had seen it in the case and I was like, that is just so cool looking, because look at this. It's like so Art Deco looking. And I'm like, it's plastic. It looked through the case, it looked like Bakelite. So then I pulled it out and I pulled it off the card and I saw that it's a dress clip, which is really cool because I was like, in the case, I could see that the metal was only on one side. So I was like, is that a brooch? Is it missing something? But a dress clip makes total sense. So it also has the matching earrings. Isn't that cool? So they're screwback earrings. And then this is a dress clip. You can see the teeth on it. And yeah, they would put it like in the corner. Maybe there would have been two. They put it kind of in the corner of the neckline or like right in the center. But I just think that is so cool that it has the matching earrings that go with it. So what I want to do right now is, this is what I use to test to make sure something is Bakelite. I'm going to say it in my head, I say Bakelite. And I know technically it's Bakelite or Bakelite or something like that. So I'm probably going to flip back and forth because in my head it's always Bakelite because it's the easiest thing and that's what it looks like when it's written. But you know, a lot of people want to be accurate. So anyway, you take a Q-tip and you take your Simichrome polish, and I'm going to find out right now if it's Bakelite. Okay, so it's kind of this pink stuff you put on it, and the color of this is really cool. It's like a deep red brownish color, and it has the kind of thunk of Bakelite, but we'll see. So we'll go like this. I haven't tried this yet, so I don't know what it's gonna do. Okay. Well, okay, where's my camera thing? What do you think? It's not focusing. Focus. Okay, so what it's supposed to happen when the pink cream on there turns a bit of a yellow, and if my lighting is good enough, so sometimes you have to get through like the there's cigarette smoke or there's different things like that on there. So I keep doing it, and I am seeing a yellow tinge there, so I am good. I think I'm calling that Bakelite. Besides the fact it's got the look and it's got the feel and everything like that. So I was excited to find that. I don't know the value yet of these. This was a quick pickup. I haven't researched it yet. Little screwback earrings and a dress clip. That's exciting. Okay, then let me show you what else. When I went to that little thrift store, I also picked this up. This isn't, well, I guess it technically is vintage because it has a date on it, 1995. But this perfume, it's Eau de Parfum. It's a spray. It's called Bodacious, and it's by Graham Webb. and I did a quick look in the store, and I have seen some other ones selling for about $60 or something like that. So I made sure to grab it, and it was marked $10, but today or the day that I was there, the prices, it was clothing and accessories were half off. So the lady at the register was like pretending to spray herself, and she's like, I think it's an accessory. So she gave it to me for $5. So that was a good find. Okay, one other thing I wanted to mention. I think I showed this to you last time when I was out in the garage, and I had this out on the counter or the ping pong table, and I just wanted to, something came up with this because I was like, oh, it's some little crock, I guess I'll throw it on Etsy or something like that. But I saw someone else sell a small crock like this for a really good price, like $50 or something like that. I mean, this has just like a generic plant or something. Maybe it's a mustard plant. Did this originally have mustard? I don't know. And so I was kind of like, but their little crock was specifically sourdough. And then it got me thinking that you could probably use this. So correct me if I'm wrong, if any of you have done this before. You could use this for a sourdough starter. And I think a lot of people are baking right now. They're home and they're trying out different things. And so this might work as, I'm going to use that as tags, or as, I'm going to use that as a keyword in my listing and see if that helps sell it. So that's one of the things I'm going to list this upcoming week. Okay, so then another thing I will list this week is my husband's been very great. He's been wonderful helping me prep some things. So he was busy working on some things and he came in. Now this thing I pulled out of one of my storage bins, and the reason I had procrastinated is because you can see the tape on the case. This thing was covered in tape, like to keep its knives. Okay, I can do this without them all falling out. I'll take that off. Okay, so you can see what it is. It's Town & Country. It's Washington Forge. These are called Fleetwood. I've sold them many times just by themselves. They have a real nice mod look with the wooden handle. So I had bought this because it has the case and everything like that. It's got the little booklet about it. But this thrift store had taped and taped and taped and taped. And so my wonderful husband got all the tape off for me. So that was wonderful. So I'm going to get that listed this week. So the only thing he couldn't save, normally it would say Fleetwood down here because that's kind of the name of the shape, I think, of these particular ones. And, but yeah, oh, what a job. So he used a hair dryer and tape remover and sticky remover and all sorts of things like that. So that'll get listed. But then speaking of taped, this wasn't as bad, but look at this box. Isn't this box cool? This is another thing I pulled out of storage that I'm going to work on listing. So it's a salt and pepper shaker. And these aren't as bad as the other ones because they're taped in. Like this one is still taped in, but I cut this out and it was taped on the bag that it's in. So that's not so bad. And then they've never been used. Aren't they cool? Nice green wooden salt and pepper shakers. They're huge. And they're made in Japan in the original box. And I love the original box. I'm just going to stick that in there. And I paid, it looks like I paid $6 unless they were on sale. And it's Catalina Woodenwares of California. So anyway, that's the old thing. Anyway, I like those. So 2 new old stock things. I love that. Okay, so the other thing I'm going to be working on, okay, you know I sell patterns, and so one of the things that I ended up with this week is more patterns. But this is what happens. So I do have patterns to list. I know I do. But okay, so remember the story a couple shows back. I told you the story about the woman through my blog contacted me about some patterns, and I answered some of her questions. And so to thank me, she sent me those bracelets, those 1970s bracelets that are worth a pretty penny. Anyway, the whole thing with the patterns that she had, she was negotiating and trying to figure things out with a buyer, and it all fell through. So I went ahead and made an offer on the patterns because I had seen the pictures of what the patterns were and everything like that. And so there was some condition issues, and we talked all about that. And so we came to an agreement. And so I bought the box of patterns. So there was over 100 patterns, and I paid $100. So I paid about $1 a pattern. And there is some, like I said, there's condition issues. So there's some things there's some time I need to spend on getting them ready before I list them. But I just wanted to show you some of them. Okay. So this is going to be a really short show today because I wasn't quite ready, but I didn't want too much time to go by, because what's the point of an accountability show if you give yourself 3 or 4 weeks before you tell people what you did? So I just wanted to let you know that I did list those things I said I was going to list, except the chest set. And I will be listing the little stoneware crock and the perfume and the dress clip and the knives and the salt and pepper shaker. And then as many of these patterns as I can try to get to. So first of all, most of the patterns were Vogue, okay? And so a lot of them were just these little smaller, like they were mostly 60s and 70s, okay? A few of the patterns were not Vogue, and they kind of went into the 80s. The majority of the patterns were not cut, which, as you can see, I've showed you this before, but you can see they're folded really neatly and they're not cut. And then the lady, oh, she's so nice. She go ahead and labeled the ones that were cut and not cut. I mean, she didn't do that for me, but she did it for the other person she was negotiating with. So we'll see. And then I forgot to bring those in here, but she threw in a bunch of vintage linens, which I know nothing about. So maybe I'll talk about them next time, because I need to do research and I need to figure out if they're what they're worth doing. If there's anything I can do with them. You know what I mean? Okay. Anyway, so isn't that super cute? And this is a maternity pattern. Maternity jumper, blouse, and pants. Okay, so there's some like this and some that are so amazing. Like, look at that cape. Isn't that cool? That's so cool. Then there were a bunch of the bigger, oh, here's a couple more of those little ones. Sorry, they have these little stickers on. Aren't they fun? So fun. Okay, bunch like that. And then, okay, they're gonna make me sneeze. That's not good. I'm gonna drink because my throat is getting dry again. Okay, so there was a bunch of the bigger envelope ones, and honestly, I do have some they're called Vogue Basic Design, and they're usually kind of like, this one's coats, and it's all like different variety of coats, okay? And, generally these don't. Basic design ones and these big envelopes are like, okay priced. And I have a bunch in my bins, like they're not the ones I go to first, but there's a bunch in here, and I'm gonna start researching these because I really don't know much about them. I always kind of push them off to the side first. So anyway, so I thought that would be good to learn more about that. But then I have a bunch of patterns that are not cut, and they're designer. Look at this. Look at this awesomeness. Vogue Americana, James Galanos, okay? And that's a jumpsuit. Now, jumpsuits are really hot just in regular fashion right now. And so patterns, I've noticed patterns for jumpsuits have been selling really well. So I have that one. Now that one I can find it like one other place on the web, but I don't think I ever found a sold price for it, which means I can pretty much, I think I'm gonna shoot for about $50, maybe even a little bit more on that one because of what it is and then the rarity and stuff like that. I think I might do that. The rest of them are probably gonna be between $25 and $40 a piece. Okay, here's another one, same designer, cute little coat, and that is Lauren Hutton from what I've seen on someone else's listing. So if you wanna, does it look like her? I think it does. Anyway, some people do keep track of like when there's famous people who are models on the covers of sewing patterns. So a lot of times that gets mentioned in the listing as well because people want to know those things. Okay, so here's just some of these fun ones. Isn't that fun? This is a Vogue Paris original. That's really exciting. And then let me find one. Like I said, here, I'll just show them to you quickly because I don't know how interested in patterns you all are, but look at the fun fashions. I can't sew to save my life, but I love looking at these old vintage patterns. Isn't that cool? Okay, so a lot of the couturier, I can't say that, design. Now check this one out. It's another jumpsuit, but it has a tunic that you wear over the jumpsuit. Look at that. Oh, that's amazing. Okay. So that's really cool, but oh, here's another one. Oh, a cape. Oh, I love it. Some of these are my favorite ones. These are they're just so much fun. I just have fun playing with them, looking at them, and then listing them. So what I want to find is an example. Oh, look at this one. Look at her hat. I love it. Okay. What I want to find, okay, here's one. Vogue Paris Original. And then, so on these older patterns, on the big designer ones, as you can see, there's the label, right? And when people would buy the patterns, they could ask for the label to be included, but I think they had to ask for them at the counter. It wasn't automatically included, and so not all patterns actually have them. So it's kind of fun when you do find the pattern. So the person could make the dress, whatever, and then sew the label into it. Okay, isn't that fun? So anyway, that's a few of those are in there. But anyway, yeah, just fun, fun, fun. More fun. So I get to play with these this week. And I think they're gonna go in my Etsy shop. Now, I used to have an Etsy shop that was just sewing patterns, and I ended up closing it because it was just, I had too many shops going and it was just too much. And so I decided to just kind of intersperse them into my regular Etsy shop, and that's been working pretty well because some of those have sold. Oh, speaking of what sold, there was the teacup, the other teacup that I mentioned when I was out in the garage. That one sold too. It was the Ainsley Trillium, is that right? Anyway, it was that blue teacup. It was really, really pretty, but it had a little chip. So I just wanted to mention, I listed that and it sold. Okay, and it sold for $30, I believe, because it was going to, it also went overseas. So I was going to do free shipping included in that, but it was an overseas buyer, and so then they paid the full amount plus the shipping. Okay, one last pattern I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to let you go. I'm sorry, today's not very exciting, but I just wanted to, like I said, catch up and just kind of, you know, it's not always, I mean, I think the dress clip is exciting. The sewing patterns are exciting, but not everybody sells sewing patterns, so that might not be your cup of tea. But anyway, one last sewing pattern that was in the lot that I bought from her. was this one, gunny sacks. So I just wanted to mention that one because I had another gunny sacks, Jessica McClintock. I had another gunny sacks pattern that I put in my Etsy shop last week or the week before, and it like sold like that. And then this one is even more the sought after gunny sacks look, right? The prairie kind of look. So I just wanted to mention it because not only do the patterns sell well, but if you find the dresses that actually have the gunny sacks label, those are selling right now like $200 or something like that, especially that have that look. So this pattern, I'm probably going to shoot for about $25 for this pattern because this is a little bit harder to find than some of the other gunny sacks ones. Anyway, so that is all I wanted to share with you today. I probably had something else I thought about telling you, but I can't remember what it was. So anyway, hope you guys are still selling and doing well, and we'll have some more stuff for you later. Bye.